Ethics means to me like different morals or like different principles you have like in your life. I don't think it's unfair because if nobody's sitting there, then it's an open seat. I'm gonna sit there.
Ethics mean to me having a strong sense of self as well as a deep belief in your own morals and values. Because it wouldn't be right. I don't think that it's okay for you to take something that's meant to be used to help the needy or somebody who really needs it and you use it for yourself.
Ethics means to me just basically like what you were brought up about and like your pride and what certain things mean to you as the individual in a sense. I would accept it, but then kindly say, all the work wasn't from me. My colleagues helped as well, and just, so that the light will be shed on both of us as individuals and not just like me just taking all the credit. I don't say it's considered stealing. I just think it's something, it's there, that's what it's the purpose for it to be there. Sometimes you might just accidentally, today, you're in the bank filling out a check and then it's just like, oh, it slips your money, you just walk out the bank with it. Things happen. I feel like at the fast food restaurant, napkins are napkins. I don't really feel like that's stealing.
Ethics, I feel like in order for you to have ethics, in my opinion, you have to be firm on what you believe. In general, like in the medical field, ethics, you have to be able to have integrity, you have to be able to be trustworthy, dependable, those things like that. Why are you fantasizing about somebody else? I mean, if you fantasizing about somebody else, do you really want to be with the person you with? You said pens from a bank. They be having complimentary pens sent out anyway. Some folks know they're not getting them pens back half of the time, so technically, it was already stolen to begin with. The paper was stolen from my great planet Earth.
Ethics, when I think about ethics, I think about different traits about like somebody or like different things they go into their mind. People pay for their seats at like a sporting event, but if you go to like a concert or something, like it's a free seat, nobody really cares about that. But like it depends on the seat. If you go to a game, if you far up and you go to a seat, somebody gonna be mad. So I definitely say a sports game. To me personally, I would accept the praise. I ain't gonna lie, but no, it's not good like ethics to do that. So I would say no, it's not good to take all the credit for the work. It's a good thing to tell the person about the price, but me personally, I'm gonna go ahead and take that little deal and not tell nobody. I ain't gonna lie.
Address labels, I feel like you have to have some type of permission to use them first before you just use them.
I agree with her.
I don't think that's stealing. Yeah. If it's out there, that means you can have one. So
I'll say napkin from a restaurant. I don't think it's severe. It's still stealing, but it's not as severe. In my mind, it's not severe, but it's still stealing. I know it's not. Simply because it's for an organization that is already been earmarked for, and you doing something for your own personal use. I don't see you hurting anything about moving into a better open seat. I don't see, but at the same time, if you do that, the person that owns the seat or have tickets for the seat, you need to move without any kind of chaos or anything. So I would move.
Ethics means a lot to me. Ethics is more about morals and standards and values. I think you should earn it more than more earned than just getting credit for praise. It's better to contribute and use them. That way, that means you're giving back to the community versus just using them for free. Because, that's what they're selling it for, right? I wouldn't tell them. I'll just buy it. I'm just being honest.
Well, ethics are really principles that guide behavior. Ethics are about honesty. It's about integrity, about honor. It's about right and wrong. So it's a principle that guides us to do what is right and what is wrong, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. It's a principle that guides us to treat people fairly, to know what is right and what is wrong, and it's not to indulge in behavior that is unbecoming of people of principle. So it's really a standard that guides us to do what's right, what's wrong. No, issue ensure that the person that did the work is mentioned, the person is acknowledged. It's not appropriate for you to accept work done by somebody and take the full credit for it. It's act of irresponsibility. I think that the person that did the work should be acknowledged, and their part should be acknowledged. Or handsomeness, or good looking, or clothes, or whatever. Sure. I mean, it depends on how you define, what's the word? Fantasize. It's not appropriate for you if it's, if you define fantasy in terms of sexual, it's inappropriate. Yeah. But in terms of appreciating the person's clothes, what the person grooming, the person presentation, whatever, that's appropriate, in my opinion.
Ethics means to me to have a good moral compass and something that guides the decisions that you make. I personally would not take a pen from a bank because I think it would be considered theirs, so no. Napkins, I don't think that's stealing. I think it's open to the general public, so I mean it's a napkin. I think it is because you didn't pay for those seats. And I've been in a situation at a concert actually where I could have, and I chose not to just in case someone were to turn up late, but I think it's unfair.
Ethics to me is morals and values. That's what ethics means to me, like what you morally know. No, that's the quickest way to commit a crime. No, I would not like the praise for that. No, because I'm taking credit for something somebody else did. That's not right.
So ethics means to me is doing the right things in the right way. That it's never okay to take shortcuts, even if you mean well. The ends don't not always justify the means. And so we definitely want to make sure we're doing the right things in the right way. And something that I learned in one of my graduate courses was they call it the AJC test, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution test. If what you're about to do is going to be on the front page of the AJC tomorrow, would you still do it? And that's kind of how I've always lived by my decisions as a leader, is to, if what I'm about to do is going to be on the front page of the newspaper tomorrow, how would my family and friends and colleagues feel about it? I would accept the praise for the part that I played, but then I would explicitly make sure that my boss or supervisor knew, who did most of the work, what that person did, and make sure they also got the same kudos and congratulations. Because we don't benefit by tearing each other down. If we, rising tide lifts all ships. So we definitely want to make sure that everyone who's part of a project that is successful gets the due recognition.
Ethics means to me doing the right thing at all times, no matter what. Just follow your conscience and do the right thing. Because at the end of the day, there are consequences. So we must always remember to think, to make sure we're doing the right thing. It is unfair to move because someone has paid for those seats, and if you move into another seat because it's a better location, you're taking somebody else's seat, and ethically that's wrong. So remember, we have to do the right thing, and the right thing would be to not sit anywhere that you're not authorized to sit. No. The answer is no. It is not okay to do that. I would let them know, because sometimes people aren't aware of the value of things. I would be honest. I would inform them that you really need to charge more for this.
So for me, as a teacher, ethics means that I have to set a higher standard for myself, because teachers are expected to have a standard of behavior that is above other people. And the reason we have to have high ethical standards is because we are in charge of children and making sure that they are safe in their environment and being taught the very best we can do. So those are the kinds of things that ethics means to me. That actually happens a lot, and I don't use the labels because I think that if I'm going to advertise that I have been contributing to them by using those labels, then I don't think that's fair. Now, if they send me an address label and I feel like, well, this is a worthy charity, I will go ahead and send them some money, and then I wouldn't mind using them. But generally, I don't use the extra ones. I think it is unfair to do that because you never know, somebody might be coming and they're just running late, and then it would be embarrassing to the other person as well as to you because you've kind of demonstrated that you're not the honest person that you want people to think you are.
Ethics, to me, are the moral principles by which we should abide in terms of how we engage with other people and what we should be doing when the cameras are not on us. Yes, you are supposed to let the seller know, because they are expecting a certain amount of money from that item. And the way I live by it, something called karma. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, then it's going to somehow come back to you in the end. And I'm not one of the ones who wants to, as they say, block a blessing, because I feel as though if I'm cheating the buyer now, what amount of money will I lose later, which sometimes probably could be more than I'm actually trying to steal, if you will, at that time. Absolutely not. If you know you have not done your due diligence on a project, then you should let your boss know, hey, thank you for the praise. However, such and such did the majority of the work, and I did assist in these parts. And then maybe your supervisor or boss will then give you praise or credit for what you've done. Because what you don't want to happen is it comes back later on and it's found out that you did not do what you were supposed to do. Or even if you were asked, well, since you had such a leading role on this project, could you tell us more about it? And then, of course, you can't because you really didn't do what you say you did.
As a sociology student, ethics is known to be the knowledge that deals with how a person is going to act or behave regarding a situation. In other words, what can be right or what's wrong. So I guess that's what it means to me, like what's right and wrong. No. That's my personal opinion. I wouldn't accept it. If you didn't do the work, you should give the credit to the person that did it. That's what make me feel good. Like I wouldn't feel good if I was receiving credit for something that I didn't do. The person that did it deserves to keep it.